I was building one, but I didn't finish it
The
because
fuck?
I have to VOD, unfortunately.
Okay.
So this is a comp we want to run more, the Reaper May. So let's that's a good one to look at. Even though Alyssa was not in, I think it can still have some macro
Yeah. So,
to figure it out.
mhm. Yeah, Reaper May is very, very close range, probably. And their
Yeah,
comp is
that's why
too.
I think that's why we need a Lucio with it, not Juno Brig for.
Yeah, I agree for this one.
Okay, am I recording? Yes, I think so. Yeah, so what we're looking for is just close range engagements,
Yep.
and this is Flashpoint. So if we're running May on Flashpoint, our kill box 9 times out of 10 is just going to be the choke because all these choke points are really really tight for May walls. Um, Not sure what this wall is about. It looked like we were trying to use it to rotate, but we didn't rotate. I don't know. Is this the call here?
Yeah, that was my bad. I meant to place it farther back.
That's okay.
I think that's max. It was close to max range. They reduced the range, right?
Um, let's check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's close to max range that you can get from there. In Overwatch 1, you could put it further back, but
yeah, that's okay.
yeah. I think it was just an issue of our rollout being split, so our May wasn't as close.
Yeah, so if we do want to get the first May wall, it's really important in a May mirror. Why is that?
So we have the advantage of having the rhythm.
Yeah, and also it blocks the enemy
So.
May's LOS to get the wall that she wants. If she wants to wall here, she can't do that if your wall is, splitting them. Kiting here is a good choice because we kind of messed up our cooldowns.
I was waiting for Amp here so we can engage.
Yeah. Oh, this is really good. I
As I
would be.
remember, I think after we killed the queen, I just aped in.
I would be careful using mobile here because we're stabilizing right now,
Yeah.
right? So we're waiting to regain our resources. This is like a poking bubble, and it looks like we're not engaging right now. So you using this bubble to poke here is meaning you don't have any bubbles for when we want to push. And when we want to push is when we use our May wall. That's like how we know we're actually doing something and we're pushing out. Really nice wall though. Their queen just kind of messes up number sense. That's why you never want to cross the choke. Like even going here is like a feed against May.
Yeah, here we fucking chased them to spawn.
Yeah. That's fine. You can choose wherever you want to set up your kill box, but this is pretty open space here.
Yeah, I think now here we were baiting, so
Yeah.
Chloe can.
I chose the wrong side of the
Yeah.
debate. So. Too far.
Yeah. Okay, so that did not go well. What should I call our tank player? Holy? Juan?
Theo?
Theo.
Theo?
Yeah, yeah.
Theo? Okay. So Theo took too much damage and had to back out and cut Kiriko LOS. So things are kind of awkward here. And like the grab is good, but everybody kited out, so nobody was in position to follow up really. Although it was a 5-man grab, so it wins us the fight anyways. Second try is the charm. Chloe, let's see it. Okay, nice.
To be honest, like if Chloe said like she wanted to ult, because I don't know she was gonna ult there, so I would have stayed with her, but actually I didn't know she was going to ult.
At this point, 4v4, we need to use another ult if we're not guaranteed to kill something in the next like 1
I think
second.
I think we used my ult.
Yeah, so we should already be using it. Just drop it right here. Kill this brig. Brenburn's good. Brenburn knows to LOS Blizzard.
Holy shit, where the fuck I came from?
So that was just too much hesitation on the ult usage. Even if we killed one or down one, we're probably gonna kill their JQ, but like, it's better to just use it. I mean, if you use it that late, they're like that much more likely to like sweep and win the fight. Okay, rushing grab. Okay, so I'd say like we can either use rush or grab. They're both pretty reliable ults. Grav can be countered by a bunch of their abilities, and rush is just really, really, really strong. So I think rush is a safer bet here. But again, we're having this issue here of we weren't quite able to collapse on the Grav.
Yeah, because they altered the grab.
Yeah.
Like they captured the grab with their ult.
Well, they blizzed first. Yeah.
And we don't have a long range heroes too, so we can't capitalize on the grabs. And because if you look at it, like the only person could do some damage is Chloe, because like she's the one short range, and like they kind of spread the main ult as much as they can, so they zone us out as much as possible.
I was set up badly for it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
Yeah. You're right. They did blizz and then we grabbed, so we couldn't really follow up very well. But what we want to see is us like more in position to push it, because by the time we grabbed.
So to be fair, we should grab there, but we were.
Yeah.
Because as I remember, well, the plan was for them to push a bit so we can grab and Chloe can get her pick.
Yeah.
But I think they read our play.
Yeah, so I mean it's a bit unlucky then. Remember, if we don't always have to follow the ult plan, like specifically if they use an ult first, we should not feel forced to follow it just because Chloe's here. If they're splitting us with Blizzard, we kind of have to respect it, right? But I think the ult was still better. Like, even regardless if they have Blizzard or not, we should have just used it a little bit earlier in our kill box, so we wouldn't get walled, we wouldn't get our ice block forced, and Chloe, like, even if it's here, Chloe can walk up and shoot. Like, it doesn't have to be here necessarily, if we see the opportunity. Okay, we can rush here. This is pretty good. we're kind of postured quite far back for this push, though. You see from our Kiriko's perspective how far the enemy is?
Yeah.
So if we're planning to use Rush and end up here, then there's no point in playing as safe. Like, we would position here if we were planning to play this space, but we're rushing with the intention to play this space. That makes sense? So if we're planning to push forward anyways, we can stage a little bit closer, so by the time we actually get value out of the rush, they can't just kite it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. That's a good rush.
I did notice I was like kind of out arm's reach from everyone there, so if we play a little closer, they can't kite it.
Yeah, and what I tell my other team is, when you have, here's like a little more advanced knowledge, when we have a strong push main, what really makes this like a lethal rush is if we have like +1 flanker. Like, if Reaper can set up a flank, I don't know if this is possible, but if we can set up somebody to catch them from behind or from the side where they want to kite, then they're like
the guy comes from the
guaranteed to die. They're guaranteed to die. You know, like
Yeah.
if we're pushing main and then somebody at the same time is like entering this direction, they're dead. Comes from the side, only takes 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah. So I'm trying that a lot, but I'm like setting up badly for it.
Yeah, so
Like, I'm just too far. Like, what am I doing?
What is the problem with what you're doing here?
It's just too obvious, and I wasn't hiding at all.
Too obvious. I mean,
I feel you used the Wraith early too.
it's that your team wasn't controlling this space whatsoever. So if you try and solo flank as Reaper here, you know, what you wanted to do really was apply pressure where your team is controlling. So I don't know, maybe you could like this is troll, but like the room maybe,
That is hard, Joel.
or just hide better, like and come enter the
Hiding
fight
better is
later.
better.
Because if you tank attention first, your Wraith is gonna get forced and you're gonna be that much less effective.
It's true. To be fair, I was saying it every fight when I was like, okay, I'm gonna hide here and I ping it. So my team also
Yeah, so
did
I
not
mean,
set up for me.
it is responsibility on both parts. Yes. Okay. We're getting pincered. What do we do?
Right.
Yes. Option
Run
1,
away.
kite. This way. Option 2. What's option 2?
Fuck. We could just
wall off the rest of the
basically
team.
Yeah. Fight. Either kite or fight. So if we kite, we could probably kite this way. If we fight, we can just fight the Venture and then drop our Maywall here. And they cannot 5v1.
What do you mean by kite?
Oh yeah, okay. So when I say kite, I mean, okay, so kite basically means like walking away from the enemy while shooting them. I think it's like a MOBA term.
Okay.
So
Almost like guiding them where you want to go.
yeah, sorry, I should have clarified. So if they're pushing, like these guys are very all close range heroes, they want to claim this space and they want to fight us in this space with their brawl comp. We just walk away. We just walk away. And then they won't be able to do damage to us. That's basically what I mean.
Alright.
And it's the call you can make like in the match too, and be like, "Yo, kite this," and like back up towards the objective
Yeah,
usually.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
And then or fight this, and then usually that means you're gonna ult to like counter, to match. Because if you're gonna fight this, you need to match what they're doing at least.
Yeah.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
lot of teams will call something like, okay, let's bait an ult at this corner,
Yeah,
and then let's
yeah,
kite that ultimate and not try and fight,
yeah, yeah.
not try
Play
and
the
like
kite.
not try and tank all
Next
that
ult.
damage. We just want to disengage and wait for it to end. So without using resources, right? We can just use a wall or something, but we don't want to use like an ultimate.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
when we take our fight here, they're like -1 ultimate, and we're up in resources. And another call in terms of kiting will be like the kite direction will be like, okay, guys, kite to point. So then when we call kite, nobody's walking back this way,
Yeah.
and we're not getting split. I think that's an important call for, especially if like we're new to playing maps and stuff, that we know our kite direction, so we don't get split.
That's exactly what happened to Kiri.
Here, it looks like we just wanted to reset. That's fine.
What is going on with the music in the game?
What?
You hear that?
It's just playing.
Oh, like there?
I think it's like
Yeah.
somewhere close to the ground. Like the music has like a spawn point. I don't know.
Yeah, music has like a spawn point or something.
Yeah, it does. It might be like exactly where I'm holding the camera.
It might be. I've never heard it on this map before.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah. We got options here. We can farm rush, or we can blizz. Let's try for blizz. Their rem is very split, so this is a good blizz. The intention, at least, is very good. Yeah, that is very good. Nice. Solid. We identified the split. We ult it. GG. That's what we like to see.
so low key, is the echo swap good or bad? Do you think?
It's good. They don't have any hit scan.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like, it's effective against fair adventure. All that.
okay. Because it gets worse because we go to like the other points that are more hemmed in, and maybe I should like swap back probably.
I mean, it does, like, it's not great with our comp. Like, it'd be much better if we had like
Yeah.
dive hybrid, something like that.
Yeah.
But just playing like poke style, poking more echo, it's like, it can work.
Yep.
You just need to hard mark the Pharah.
Yep. That was the plan.
And we're getting
There, I used my flight too early, so I couldn't mark the fair.
yeah, we got slowed and then we couldn't kite. That's honestly just unlucky. Next time, just drop through this window here. Oh, yeah, and if we choose to beat, we should like int at this point. Like literally throw ourselves at this brig and try and trade. Because if we let our beat expire, we're gonna lose for sure.
Do you think we should call beat fights, or like just try to use it reactively?
No, they should be called
Okay.
for sure.
It should be called, okay.
Um,
Because that's one thing we definitely haven't, like, no matter what, we've never, like, so far been calling our beats. I think that's probably pretty bad. Should definitely, like,
It was mainly just
Use
panic
it.
beats with Newman, in case he dies.
I mean, low key, both Newman and Mitchell do that equally.
beating,
so-
yeah, beating to like, because your tank was like low and nobody else was like involved in the fight is usually really, really bad. Like if tank gets that low and the fight is not occurring, a mistake was made. right? Like this mistake should have just been Suzu'd, but I mean he died so quickly. It's like whatever. It happens.
So more beat engage and less beat reaction, I guess.
Okay,
Fall for, like, a
if they
beat
have an
engage
ult that we can
retake.
actually beat to survive, yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
what
Yeah, true.
ult are we gonna survive? Like maybe Ram ult?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Ram ult you can counter beat, or Ventral or something, or Juno ult. Juno ult is, I think, what I said we should probably use beat for.
Yes, we can beat engage, and a lot of the time Juno ult will not be like Juno ult doesn't give invulnerability, but it's like the same
Yeah.
thing. If we use it defensively for Juno ult, it's like kind of worse to frame it like that in our minds than
Yeah.
using it as a beat engage, and then they so
Mhm.
happen to use Juno ult, right?
I see.
Because we get our spike in value when it's like on our tempo and we have a target
Yeah.
selected and we're like, okay, three,
Yeah.
two, one, go, beat, kill them.
Yeah, yeah,
Juno
yeah.
ult will probably not be able to stop this a lot of the time.
True. I see.
But if they use
More
Juno ult
like,
and then they're like shooting us,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
we're
yeah.
like, okay, we just use a bunch of resources because they use Juno ult. I had to use fly, I had to use
Mhm.
my bubbles, I had to use amp, and then we're like, okay, let's beat to like sustain and like keep up our resources. It's going to be much less effective because we already used
Yeah,
all these
that's
other
true.
resources to survive
Yeah.
the Juno ult for a second or two.
So it's sort of hand in hand with the other comment about like playing to kite or playing to fight, right? Because it's like, all right, we know they have X ult, right? Like, let's say we know they have Juno ult. Let's try to get out it, or just try to get an ult out is probably an easier call, and then kite that, and then re-engage with beat as soon as our cooldowns are back, right?
Yeah, if we like, that's the best case scenario. If we can kite
Best case.
the Juno ult by making them use it in a spot where we're not trying to like contest too hard,
Yeah,
then yeah, that's good.
that's best case.
If they end up
But
using it on point and capturing point, then it's like a little bit
you
worse.
can always kite. Yeah, I feel like Juno is just so strong. Like in its current state, you can always kite it, and
Yeah.
even if you lose the point, it's worth it to have a beat re-engage instead of trying to beat it.
Yes, this is true.
I realized that
For
more recently.
yeah, for static ultimates like Rush and Juno ult, and um, even like Ram to an extent, because you know
You can kite it
we
if possible.
if possible to kite it, and we're in position to do so, then we should, and try not to use too much resources to do so. And then it's like the rubber band. If we kite it, like let's say they use an ult to take this space and we kite it this way, then we can rubber band and use our resources that we have more of at this point in time to kill them in this area, because people will push up trying to use an ult and get a kill with this ultimate, and it ends up being an overextension if their ending position is somewhere not safe and they're down resources. So this is punishable. That's the idea.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Ramatra.
Locking satellite vector.
Oh my god, it just appeared in the sky. I've never seen that from that angle before.
Locking satellite vector.
It comes from Mars.
Wow. No, it actually comes from this thing.
Oh, my bad.
That's what it looks like. Okay.
That's cool.
Now we know.
It's actually really high up.
Yes.
Suffer as I have.
Why is she
Chloe?
cosplaying? Yeah, what? What? I use coffee.
Oh, okay. Nice. Sorry, I got lost from looking in the sky for that long. I got dizzy.
Okay. That one, I think we kited two different directions. Sorry, can we check that? I think that's the reason we lost that fight.
I think we were down one the entire time. After
Oh, really?
after the Ramatra situation.
I-
Or the Zari situation.
Sorry.
But like we can review after what happened after
Oh,
that.
you're
Like,
so right. Yeah.
we tried and kite with beat, which is kind of sketchy. Like at this point to win the fight, we need to use rush. Like right now. Like okay, when they come to point, this is how we win the fight. 3, 2, 1, rush, and then fight here. like collapse.
Okay.
But really good trade. That's like huge actually.
I mean, the kite was pretty good. If those two kept running away like even further, they pulled like four of them, and we could have
Yeah.
actually probably won and got our Zarya back. Just need to keep going if they're running you down that hard, I think,
Yeah.
and wasting time.
Blocking satellite vector.
Oh my god, Chris. Anyways, like yeah, that happened.
It happens.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
If we identified this Juno was here, we could have killed her. Alright. Good counter ult. This is solid. We have a pincer. Chloe's drawing 2 away, so we can push this 4v3. Even if they have rally, we can use an ult and win this. Counter ult, counter ult. That's okay. This is pretty good. A little unlucky on the blizzard. I like the grab actually. We try and damage it.
You got two off it.
A little bit of target focus right now. Okay, unlucky. But okay, they did use 3 ults and we used 3? 2?
Yeah, also
3?
Also 3.
Yeah. So I think things were pretty
Low
even.
key.
Things were pretty even.
Low key, I just realized this map. I did I did notice we had 2,500 healing on the Lucio at this point, and 1 beat. So I think if we just amp heal, if we call for amp heals more and like to sustain, and just try to kite without speed. I mean, kite with the regular speed and not the amp speed, then we can win more fights when they have like defensive ult advantage, and they won't.
Yeah, I will say that throughout this, like the ult uses here, we're not quite like pushing our like when we use our ults, we want to be like pressing W at that point, and we're not quite doing that. It seems like we're like falling back and then using an ultimate and then falling back and then using an ultimate. It's like when we rush especially, we need to like punch forward and get the value out of this ultimate.
True. That is a good point.
Like right here where everybody's
Holding
pressing
W
S when rush is up. It's
Yeah.
like just go, just like annihilate this brig. Who cares if she has rally? You have 4 people in Kitsune rush. She will die. And if the longer you wait, the more these guys can play this corner in cover, and the more time this Venture has to come back to the fight. So Theo walks forward, but I think the rest of you were a little bit late there. Okay. Now that we're on Cassidy, we do want to set up our cast site line and play for that a lot of the time. This is kind of scary.
I think as soon as we swap to cast, does our Lucio player on our cast to get that angle, or?
Lucio can set up cast on an off angle, yeah. What is your question?
Yeah, okay.
Like this
That was
specifically? Okay.
I just don't know. I don't know always like if Lucio play when Lucio plays with Tracer versus when Lucio plays with Pass. Like, what's the win condition?
Whoever needs the help more in the duel, basically.
Okay.
And at this range, it's gonna be Cass because they'll just walk on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Dope.
Like a lot of the time, it will be Cass. If Cass is just sitting back there and he doesn't need help, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
A good disengage and good peel with your Cass here. That's really nice. But just keep kiting. Like literally, just keep kiting until you're safe. Okay, we only have beat, so we don't quite have rush. What would be nice to see is a beat engage, I think. Or that. Nice Clair.
I died though. Yeah, Loki. I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
We can beat engage with the Tracer Lucio comp. It's a little bit less effective than like if we didn't have Cass, but it just means that it would be better if we got a little bit of bubble charge or like they walked into our Cass LOS a little bit, because Cass doesn't want to be on top of them. Hopefully,
Yeah.
So it is important when we're beat engaging to really think about like, okay, Cass LOS, will they be able to kite him? Will our Cass be able to get value? Because if our Tracer, Lucio, whatever, are inting with the beat and then they end up kiting it, it's better if all that happens within Cass LOS so he can land a few shots. Are we gonna say Clair?
Yeah, that was it. I was gonna ask, is it still worth to be engaged without May?
Yeah. It's just like,
Because we needed our cast to be set up.
yeah, it's just
to
like
get value.
kill box is very important with our cast there. And it could be later, like it's really would be really unfortunate to do that, and for them to just kite. So in this specific situation, okay, I'll revise my statement. In this specific situation here, when they need to come to point here, like they have this ult to contest point, which is really scary for us because we don't want to be like forced out or killed.
Yeah.
We want to like hold this space, and at this threshold, we would like want to beat engage, but we don't want to like push out and then have them kite it and then re-engage with Juno ult, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
This is. Do we get a touch here? Wow. We did get overtime, but this is only really contestable if Tracer can kind of get to point and draw attention. But at this point, it's a reset. That's okay. That's a pretty disparate situation to try and recover from. Hey man, can you mute? Thanks. Yeah, our cast didn't.
This was my bad. I didn't realize the call.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was probably called. I just didn't process it fast
okay.
enough.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, getting a split at that range is like really very, very dangerous for Cassidy. This one we can kite because they're super far away from us. And now we re-engage. We can use an ult here. This is a good rush. And this Ram just has to hold block, like he literally can't do anything. We should have won this fight already. What happened? At this point, we need a rush because our Reaper's in. Like, we need to be rushing already down this lane. That's unlucky. Or you can get a lot of value, remember, just by like staying here instead of on the ground, if you're able to. It can reduce the damage you're taking by quite a lot. And then the two guys up here, Theo, when this is happening and your team is getting pushed, just like the question you need to ask yourself to decide whether or not you want to trade backlines is basically why or how will my backline survive their push? Like, will my backline be able to survive this? If the answer is no, then and you can't peel very well, then yeah, just go try and kill something in their backline. But if the answer is yes, then all you need to do is just stop the follow-up at this joke. So what I'm saying is you don't need to push out into a 1v3. You can just kind of stand here. Yeah, if that Ram took like any more damage, he would have died there. Oh, nice kill. What the heck? That's cool. We take that. Good cleanup. That's unlucky.
Low-key, that fight's just my fault. I just instantly spawn with a recall.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to say about that. Just
Yeah.
individual
Just
errors.
don't do it.
Oh, this is a nice little play here. Okay. Bubble check.
Yeah, he
Bubble.
calmed for it.
Bubble check. That's good, yeah.
Very
Solid.
nice.
I like that.
We would have won that fight if I didn't hit. So I won't do it next time. Maybe. Probably.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. Another concept I want to give you guys, I don't know if I really saw a good example of this, but okay, this is like a hypothetical situation. Let's say the enemy is holding in this area or this area, and we are coming from this area, and we have like let's say we had this, but like when we had Tracer, like Tracer Cast or something like that. How do we get to point? We need Tracer to force point, right? So to reduce the amount of pressure here, we have like, okay, one option we can do is send Tracer on the flank to reduce the pressure and have people turn around this way. Or we could just put Tracer point and then they're forced to go into this area, which is a little bit further away. It really stretches their team more. And it like threatens a capture. So they have no choice. Like they have to do it or they're going to lose the point. And that will enable us to do rotations like this. You guys probably know this, but I didn't see a good example, and it's really relevant on Flashpoint specifically. So, does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions about the rest of the map? Yes, no? All good? We can look at the other code. How you guys feeling?
Yeah, it's code. Other code. Gibraltar, good work. Could be basically any of them with Alyssa in would probably be the best other ones since we did one without her.
Attackers incoming.
This is a Tim as substitute.
Yeah. Low key though, we probably won't be playing much Echo Tracer, so maybe not maybe not this map. I don't know.
Okay, we can do a different map.
Just because for our hero pools, it doesn't really make sense for us to ever have an Echo Tracer map. Unless you want to learn Echo. That's okay. You play lots of heroes. You just gotta find. I think
So different map.
Let me just see which map. Maybe Runasapi. I remember that one was like really back and forth, and I misplayed a lot, so I could use some help. And I think we were playing something like
I got a
Doge
question
Tracer.
from the last map that you just showed. Okay, well I can't really explain it because it's not on the screen anymore. But I don't know if you saw I don't know if you saw Theo push the Widow back there on Diva. And, like the whole team surrounded him. Was that like?
Yeah, that was
Was that a good
Theo's
thing
fault.
he did, or like? Because Diva's one of my mains. I'm trying to like.
That was a very bad thing. I
mistakes.
can tell you myself. That was a very bad.
You told me.
Yeah, there.
You told
Theo
me.
pushed the Widow back there.
What do you think?
No.
Like, my point
Why?
here, we either TP or wait for the supports to rotate, because if you don't do that, we're gonna be useless.
Just why? What's the simple reason that this push?
He's alone. Whole team's on him.
Yeah, it's just participation. Zero participation.
Not even participatable.
Yeah,
but for most of our team, there's just 0% chance any of us can help.
Yeah, that's it. And also, you're turning your back to 3 points of damage, so you're putting yourself into a 3-way pincer and getting shot in the back by Ana. Well, okay, maybe we didn't see Ana, but yeah. Minasabi, go.
Yeah. Code is R9JCKF.
K what?
F.
F.
One objective unlocks in 30
Okay. So right away, they're on Reaper Tracer, we're on Ash Tracer. We have more range. we bait them into long sight lines, we fight with our Ashe, and then we have the neutral advantage. Right now, that's exactly what we have, the neutral advantage with our Ashe sight line. That was good. We swung wide with Ashe. Solid. So here we kind of need to decide on our kill box. Are we wanting to do it back here, or are we wanting to do it here? And if it's here, we can set our Ashe up on coast, because she's very far away and pretty untouchable. Then it'll be hard for them to clear it, because like even Tracer has to cross this very long distance, and putting way more pressure on this. Even if their Ashe is up here, our angle is a little bit wider and it applies good pressure on main. I think we're just stomping, so.
It gets a lot closer.
And here, because our Ashe is so late, I would recommend just backing up for the skill box. Because right now we're already fighting, but our Ashe is on respawn, so we're going to get our resources burned quickly. Nice. Wow, nice. I don't hate this all. I think it's fine. I think we did a little bit of. We just need a little more cover usage here on the corner. Like that push, for instance, kind of killed our Zarya. If we could have just stood here and shot and tucked the corner a little bit, we might have just won this fight. And for Chloe,
yeah,
that's okay. Just if you can blink like on the outskirts where Zarya's not like point blank, that would be ideal. And don't die with recall.
I'm still getting used to the on-campus setups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my excuse. Like I don't do that on my home PC.
Unlucky. That's so unfortunate. Oh my damage. Okay. Yeah, shooting Zarya is good here. Now, we do want to take a bit of a faster engagement, especially when we know they have Grav, and not stack as much. Like we could have rolled Ashe here, for instance. It's mostly coming down to they had grab and we didn't really have anything, and we were coming back one down.
I think I also set up the wrong side. I had to blink too much to get at their Zarya instead of setting up on the close angle where the Tracer was.
Yeah, I think your effective range would have been through here, probably. And you get break back advantage if you fight that Tracer inside there. Like, ideally, we had, like, Ashe here, Tracer here, and then we're angle maxing, you know? And then we're dodging grab because we're not stacking main and getting grabbed, yeah?
Yeah.
That's when you want to angle max. Who's she gonna grab? The Ashe on coast? The Zarya on main with double pocket? Nope. Okay, here we can just dump an ult. I like this. I like that. Very nice. If they're stacked main, we just dump grab and win. GG. That's okay. I think just like being in this position is kind of scary, and you use 2 blinks in this area, which, like, being in here is great where you ended up, but by the time you're here you have 1 blink. So being in like the middle of the team for that period of time put you at a disadvantage from right off the get-go. Okay, where can we use Juno ult? Where can we use Rally? What type of ults are these? What's the best places to use them?
I believe we can engage with the Rally.
Yeah, we can. They're brawly, right? Like we want to fight them in enclosed areas, if possible. This is tough because it's a really open area, especially if their Ashe is back here on the angle. So we just need to think about where we can get close to them and brawl. And this would be a really good spot. Like, they're very close. This is a brawl area. I think we need to just pop an ult, to be honest. Like Rally. I think we would be a little bit faster on the trigger there. Can you escape when their whole team is this close to you? Probably not. I think when things go south like this, we should just die on cart. Because without speed, and they have speed, we won't be able to kite. So we can just stop the cart progress for a second and die on cart here. Oh, we do survive. Wow. I think they should have and could have killed you there, though. I like this rally. They're pretty close. Gives us a nice advantage. This Bob is not great because we're kind of stacking ults at this point. We won this space by rallying and they're backing up. So bobbing, it doesn't win us any more space. They're already giving us the space. Raid boss over here. Let's go. Let's go. Kill the Ashe. Kill the Ashe. Let's go. Nice. Good. That's exactly what we needed. That stagger killer. That's good. We mirror ults. Tracer angle. Oh, that's perfect. I think overall this map was fairly solid from you guys. Just some like individual ints cost us many fights. Team play is pretty solid. If it wasn't for that pulse, that grab would have been really bad too. She was like 1 HP and no follow-up. And this situation here is like, okay, it's 5v4. Do we really want to take this fight? Probably not. It's better to kite and take a fight at a set kill box where we actually have a 5v5 rather than die and then have them push all the way. Like, they'll probably push it at least to like here before we respawn if we lose this fight. That's like choosing to take a 5v4 there is not a good idea. Yeah, we need to be quicker to kite here. It looks like we called to kite, but we didn't quite make it. Yeah, you just need to bash into cover slightly earlier there. I'm just zooming through this, but it's nothing that major for you to ask. Stop me and ask a question if you're wondering about a fight. Arjuno slowly moves away from us. Unfortunate. This is a 3v4, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just kind of mechanics and target focus in a situation like that. We come out on top, my guts. Okay, now we actually have a real fight. What can we do here? We got only Bob. And right now it looks like we're confused about where we want to actually fight. If we want to fight this lane, okay, sure. It's a little bit of a problem though because they have the lead, so they don't really need to, they're not incentivized to push it into our kill box. So we kind of need to take advantage here, or take the, what's it called, initiative here, and take a fight into them, where they're forced to respond. And this is a good Bob. We kind of are getting choked out here. But yeah, what might make this feel a little bit better is if we had Ashe come this way to create an angle here. This would make this space way more dangerous for them. And then if our Ashe can win this space and Bob like down here, then it's like a really good kill box. Well, they probably will not escape from. Yeah, and here our setup is kind of sketch. Our Ashe is in like very closed space. Our Kiriko doesn't really have an angle, and our Tracer angle is solid, but maybe a little bit too far. So let's think. What could we have done? Maybe, I'm not an expert on this map either, so feel free to voice your suggestion. But maybe we want Ashe at a bit longer range, and Kiriko on the off angle. So Kiriko can support this. And then Zarya can be on choke. And Tracer, Uh, up here with Kiriko Pocket, potentially. What do you guys think? You like that idea, Chloe?
I genuinely don't know, other than that I was in a good place,
Yeah.
but only because I had pulse
Yeah. Um,
and all my cooldowns pre-fight.
okay.
So I think you're right though that if everyone staged a little bit further up instead of like trying to stack our two extremely, like we have two very squishy supports that both rely on their self mobility to survive, they're stacked. So they just die instantly. Even if they're like safer there, it doesn't really help. But if you have Kiri where you marked and then Juno can stay where Juno is, then we have
Yeah.
a good setup. You're right. Because as soon as it switches from Brig Juno to Kiri Juno here, the Kiri has to be posturing with me
Yeah.
to get
The
value.
Curie needs to be landing like kunais on squishies as the fight is starting and pre-fight.
Or just even having the angle to threaten landing them. Right
Yeah.
there, right now, there's no angle. This is the you die when you peak angle.
Yeah, like this angle
Right
is
now.
really juicy right now for Curie.
Mhm.
Okay, GG. Yeah, I think our
All right.
setups on some of the fights were like good, uh, but sometimes it kind of feels like on accident because a lot of times when we should be setting up differently, we're not taking, um, well, like when we're given the opportunity to set up however we want, we're on main a lot of the time, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess
Good.
yeah, that's it
Good,
for
good pod.
today. Any questions?
Thank you so much. You can add St. Clair to your